Crazy Stupid Love is widely considered one of the greatest romantic comedies of the 2000s. It's got Ryan Gosling's abs, Emma Stone's charm, and some of the sharpest dialogue in modern rom-com history. But Steve Carell just dropped a bombshell at the New York premiere of his new show, Rooster. He absolutely hated the title. And here's the kicker. The title wasn't some brilliant creative choice by the writer or director. It was a panicked, last-minute corporate mandate from Warner Brothers executives who had no idea how to market the movie they just greenlit. This story exposes the broken psychology of Hollywood's marketing machine and proves that studios often actively misunderstand their own best films. When screenwriter Dan Fogelman turned in the script, it didn't have a title. It was simply called Untitled Dan Fogelman Project. And honestly, that made sense, because the script was a nuanced, layered look at divorce, modern masculinity, male depression, and the messy reality of middle-aged dating. But studio marketing departments are allergic to nuance. They don't know how to put complexity on a billboard. So what did Warner Brothers do? They resorted to what I call marketing Mad Libs, stringing together 3 generic focus-grouped buzzwords to create a sterile, plastic wrapper that made the movie look like a brainless Friday night chick flick. Crazy, stupid, love. 3 adjectives that tell you absolutely nothing about the actual story. It could be about literally anything. It's the cinematic equivalent of naming your indie band The Feelings or your coffee shop Brew. Carell admitted, Warner Brothers just said, "We're calling it Crazy Stupid Love." I was like, alright. That alright is doing a lot of work. That's Hollywood code for, I hate this, but I have no power here. Here's the fundamental problem. The artists were trying to make art, but the executives were just trying to sell a product. And those are 2 completely different missions. Warner Brothers had a smart, emotionally complex dramedy about a man falling apart after his wife asks for a divorce. But they didn't trust audiences to show up for that. Instead, they intentionally marketed the wrong movie. They made it look like a fluffy, lightweight rom-com because that's an easier, safer sell. The posters? Generic couple shots. The trailers? All the funny Ryan Gosling moments, none of the emotional weight. The title? 3 words that could apply to any romantic comedy ever made. They packaged the Ferrari as a Honda Civic because they were terrified people wouldn't buy the Ferrari. This is the ultimate disconnect in Hollywood. Creative teams pour their souls into nuanced storytelling, and then marketing departments panic and slap a generic label on it because nuance doesn't fit neatly into a 30-second TV spot. But here's where Carell's story gets genuinely inspiring. He said, "I'm convinced that if it's good and people like it, people will like the title. Doesn't even matter what you call it." And he's right. 15 years later, Crazy Stupid Love is a beloved classic despite its terrible title. The performances were too good, the script was too sharp, the chemistry was too undeniable. Warner Brothers may have given it a focus group name, but Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, and Julianne Moore turned it into a legend anyway. The movie succeeded not because of the marketing, but in spite of it. And Carell admitted he eventually made peace with the title because audiences embraced the film for what it actually was, not what the poster promised. Steve Carell's reflection on Crazy Stupid Love proves that Hollywood's biggest blind spot isn't talent, it's trust. Studios greenlight brilliant scripts and then immediately panic about how to sell them. But when the work is genuinely great, it transcends the marketing machine. So the next time you see a movie with a terrible generic title, remember, there's probably a studio executive who panicked, a writer who rolled their eyes, and an actor who said, alright. What's your favorite movie with a terrible title? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Hollywood breakdowns. See you in the next one.